I mean, even Chipotle told me no, you guys. So no hard feelings with Chipotle. We love Chipotle here, but I basically wasn't even Chipotle material. So where do you go from there if you can't even get a job at Chipotle? Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Mila. Thank you guys for being here. If you are new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you are an OG, welcome back, you guys. In today's video, I am going to be bearing my soul to you guys. Nothing new, of course, but honestly, I am a little bit afraid to expose myself in this video. I went back and forth all week, and if I'm being honest, maybe even longer than that on whether or not I wanted to upload this to my channel and get this deep with you guys, but I really want this to be a different space. I want it to be a safe space, a space for growth, a space for reflection, for honesty, and no judgment here. So I thought, why not share this with my YouTube family? You guys have been so supportive and have been through so many different phases with me, whether you guys know it or not. So let's go ahead and jump into today's video. I'm trying to get myself together here before I start talking to you guys about this topic because it has been quite the journey. It has taught me so much about myself, and I just hope that sharing this with you guys can teach you something about yourself that you might not know and can give you a little bit of hope and strength and faith through whatever it is that you're going through, that you're in this season of waiting and that you have planted the seed and you're watering it and you're checking it and you're basically seeing nothing. For the past 2 years, I have been applying to jobs nonstop on a weekly basis. 1 week I applied to over 100 jobs. I kid you not, guys. And that's not even including all of the skills tests that you now have to take. You have to take like a typing test and a phone interview, an accounting test, and just all of these different tests that apply to the jobs that I was applying to. So just imagine, you guys, it has been a long 2 years and I've learned so much about myself in this process. And honestly, I understand as you're watching this, depending on what side of the coin you're on, it's really easy to say, well, you probably weren't trying hard enough, or you weren't following up, or were you even applying, or you must be really bad at interview skills, or your resume was this and that. Like, trust me, I get all of that. But I think that if you haven't been on this side, it's just so easy to judge. So we are not going to judge anybody in the comments. We are not going to be those types of people today. We are just going to listen and basically just see what my story can bring to you guys. I felt like I was doing something wrong in these last 2 years, almost 3 years, you guys. I felt really lonely, if I can be that honest with you guys, and I felt like a failure. And if you've watched some of my other videos, this theme of being a failure and of failing at life and failing at things is something that I've had to get really comfortable with just because of life, and not specifically because I wanted it to go that way. And it's really funny how things work out because, as I mentioned to you guys, when I was a kid, failing was basically not an option, which I know might be hard to understand. I don't want to get off track, but I was held to like a really high level of almost perfectionism. Perfect doesn't exist, I know that. And so whenever I would mess up at something, it could be really small to something really big. It was really frowned upon in my household. So I grew up with this fear of failure. So for the past 2 years, I have been feeling like a complete failure. Like I didn't have a purpose in life because I didn't have a job, because I didn't have a career. Like I wasn't contributing to society. I went to countless interviews, group interviews, Zoom interviews, phone interviews, but ultimately I wouldn't get the job. And I would get that email, if you know, you know, the email that says,
"Thank you for applying, but we've gone ahead and chose a different candidate. If we think of you in the future..."
Like, I basically have it memorized because I received so many no's, no after no after no, month after month. And what happened was it started to affect my self-esteem. I mean, honestly, how could it not, right? I started to think of myself really as a person that basically just wasn't good enough for these positions. And mind you guys, I was applying to positions that I was definitely qualified for, if not sometimes overqualified for. Your girl has a degree, okay? I just want to throw that in there. But the main point is that I received so many no's, and with each no, it started to knock my confidence, and I couldn't understand why I wasn't getting these jobs. Like, what was it? What was wrong with me? Was I not doing well in the interview? Did they know that maybe I was lacking that confidence? Is that something that they were able to perceive? Because honestly, I think that at the beginning, I would go into these interviews and I would look the look and I would walk the walk. But towards the end, I started to go in there with this mindset of, they're probably not going to pick me. It's probably not for me. And also, if you know how our economy is right now, sometimes I would go to an interview and the lobby would be full of applicants. Like, so full, you guys. You can't even imagine, unless you're going through this right now or you've been through this. And it's like, what's really going to set you apart from them at the end of the day, right? So I would go and I'm like, they're probably not even going to pick me. I mean, look at all these people. This girl's prettier than me. She's probably smarter, or they might want a male for this position. And I just started believing all of these things in my head to the point that I felt like it was going to be impossible for me to get a job and return to the workforce. And again, only if you've been in this position, you could probably really relate to this video. But what I want to tell you guys is this, that perhaps your situation wasn't that you couldn't find a job or wasn't something similar to this. Perhaps it's something way different. But there is so much power in the wait. It took this season in my life for me to realize a lot of things about myself. And that is what I want to share with you today. First of all, the power in the wait. What do I mean when I say power in the wait? What I mean is this season of waiting that we're all going to come across in our life for one, reason or another. Obviously, yours might not be like mine, where it has to do with a physical job. It might be something else. It might be buying a home, or maybe you're finally starting that new thing that you've been putting off. Maybe it's just something totally different, right? What I mean by power in the wait is during that process of you waiting, there are so many things behind the scenes happening that you can't even imagine, that you're not even seeing, because we tend to hyper focus on getting out of that situation. And for these past 2 years, I think I've been completely consumed week after week with checking my inbox, going on Indeed, going on different websites and looking for jobs and asking people, if they're hiring. And then they tell me, yeah, my job is always hiring. So I would apply and then I wouldn't hear anything back, or I would get another no. And all of those no's obviously led me to my yes. But all of those no's, each no taught me something about myself. It taught me that I love to rush things, that I love to always be in control of my narrative, and that basically I think that I can fix anything, right? And it's not like that at all, you guys. The more we go through life, the more we start to realize that so many things are out of our control. And if we switch our mindset into thinking, well, it might not be happening right now, this second, but eventually it will happen. Your time is imminent, guys. Believe me, your time for that special thing that you have, that hope and that dream in your heart, is imminent. But there's a reason that it's not happening right now. And for me, one of the biggest reasons was that I wasn't in a good mental space. If you look back at my other videos, I shared that I did start therapy about a year ago, right? And it has been monumental to my self-growth and to my mindset and to so many things in my life. And I think that, I went to countless interviews where that job in my head, it was the perfect one. The schedule was perfect. The pay was perfect. The distance from my home. I mean, everything was perfect. And I wanted that one, and it had to be that one because it was just meant to be. That's what I thought, basically. And now I realize that none of those jobs would have been basically the one for me because I wasn't ready for those roles. I wasn't ready to step basically into a big girl role, is what I call it, with the big girl pants on and everything. And if I had been given that opportunity, I probably would have squandered it, thrown it away, not appreciated it. And I think that nowadays we are just so used to getting things instantly, that instant gratification factor, that you can order something and it'll be there at your doorstep basically within hours that same day, or online. Like, we don't even have to wait for movies to come out anymore. It's just right there. You can have it on a platform on your TV. I learned about instant gratification and how sometimes, not all the time, right, getting things so quickly denies us like the ability to be able to have a big, deep sense of gratitude once we finally receive that thing that we've been wanting and working hard towards, praying for, whatever it is. So I just want to tell you guys that there is so much power in the wait, and there are so many things happening that you don't even realize. And if we could just switch our focus a little bit to not our situation, but on all the other things that are happening around us, and not fixate ourselves on just that one no that we keep getting in life. I know that you might be watching this video and thinking this is not at all what I thought this video was going to be about. And you're right, I might have tricked you, but trust me, it's worth it, you guys. In these 2 years that I have been applying to jobs, another thing that I learned was that we can't stay stagnant. We can't stay still. We have to always be developing ourselves. And I promise you, I probably redid my resume over 10 times. And I don't mean changed a few things. No, I mean like redid it from scratch. I did countless cover letters. I watched countless videos on YouTube about interview skills and about how to show up to the interview and about what to say and about how to redo your resume and all of these things. And at the end of the day, we could debate on whether that landed me my new job or not, right? Because I believe that when something is for you, it doesn't matter what gets in your way or how long it takes, you will eventually arrive there. But we're the ones that are always trying to rush it. I want you guys to know that in this season of waiting, if you're currently in this season or you just got out of it, or maybe it's coming, we never know. Don't stop developing yourself. Don't stop working on yourself. Like I said, you might be getting a lot of no's right now, but that yes is coming and you need to be ready. You can't stay the same and expect these new things to come into your life, and you're going to be basically ready for them and prepared and welcoming them if you have the mindset you did in, 2016. If you have the same skill set, if you didn't try to think outside of the box and get out of your comfort zone and try something new, it's like, I might not be getting that yes right now, but always keep that hope and that faith, right? That it is coming. So because you know that it's coming, what are you going to do right now that is going to prepare you for when it arrives? And again, apply this to your life, you guys. I'm using this as an example. Something else that I learned in this period of my life was that you don't have to basically go with the flow and do what everyone else is doing. While I do think that it's important to listen to other perspectives and opinions, we are constantly being bombarded by so many things online. I mean, from the moment we wake up, the radio station, your phone, a podcast, your friends, your coworkers, family. And I think that this time really taught me that it's okay to perhaps listen to all these things. Ideally, I would say block out the noise, but if you can't, right, depending on what the source is, I would say it's okay to listen, but don't let it take you off of your path. Like, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was looking for. I knew that it was going to happen sooner or later, and that I need to stay the track because, trust me, there's a lot of voices that I heard in this time that basically were negative and were judgmental and were not positive and were not affirming and were not all of these things. They were just like, well, basically give up. And obviously in this situation, that's not really like logical. So you need to be careful with what you are allowing yourself to believe and to hear and to be surrounded with when you are in this season of waiting, because there is a reason for your wait and there is purpose for this wait that you are in. So just be careful with all of the outside noise and how you let that affect you, because it can be very easy for you to give up. And again, I'm using my example, but it might be something else, something much bigger. And it can be really easy to listen to someone else's idea because they think they know what you're going through, and for you to just tag along with them and go down that path. And although I believe that whatever is for you will get to you, it can take you on a really big detour, guys. And that I know from personal experience. If I'm being honest with you guys, I wish that this hadn't taken this long. I wish that I had applied to maybe 10 jobs and I would have gotten the 10th one, not 500 jobs later, right? But I will say that I am really thankful for this time, because I have developed skills that are now helping me at my current job and are helping me outside of work and are helping me bring this basically experience and this story to you guys. So even if this video gets to one person and one person is right now in this season of waiting and they see this and they're like, you know what? This girl waited 2 years for a dream job and she's there now. I can wait a little bit longer. I'm barely at the beginning. And honestly, we never know how close we are to that yes. Because you get used to all the no's, right? And you don't know how close you are. You can be literally right there, and you give up. So don't give up, you guys. And to close out this video, I just want to say that I am so thankful that I have this space now where I can come and be myself and just share basically things that I hope can help you guys. And it feels really freeing to be able to just be myself on camera. I know and I've learned that I'm not the only one going through these things. There's a lot of us on this planet. And before we judge somebody, before we give our opinion or leave a hateful comment or anything like that, please remember that you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what season of life they're in, and you don't know what season is up next for you. So be gentle with each other, be gentle with yourself. And if you are in your season of waiting, keep waiting. There is a bigger purpose for your wait, you guys, I promise you. And even though I'm on this side now, I don't know what side you're in. Leave me a comment if you feel like you're also in this season of waiting. I'd love to know. I'd love to hear from you guys. Just keep keeping on. Keep keeping on. Keep holding on. Keep pushing through. Keep showing up. Keep being you. You're going to find your people. You're going to find your tribe. You're going to find that job. You're going to get that call. You're going to get the yes. I believe it, guys, because I've seen it. So before you go, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up so you guys can support my husband's dream of being a stay-at-home dog dad. God knows he deserves it. And I love you guys. As always, I will see you in the next one.